The Great Betrayal? Is that what you're calling it? The Free Press reports on many people on the left realizing the left never had their back in the first place, but I am personally offended by this. It's not a betrayal. You betrayed us. Let me slow down. Many on the left had been backing causes that were absurd, insane, violent, and irrational. And we begged. We called them out. We said, what are you doing? And they said, shut your mouths. They sought to get us fired and banned and censored. And then many of these people are now posting in support of Israel. Okay, I can respect that. And they're getting attacked for it. And they're acting like they're being betrayed. Betrayed? When y'all stood with Black Lives Matter, when the founder said they wanted to end Israel, and we told you this, you ignored it. Why? Because of the seats of power. That's really what it was. Many on the left, default liberals, traditional liberals, Democrats, side with far left extremists over moderate positions and moderate political individuals for power, for money. You know why? In their minds, the sentiments of the anti-Semitic sentiments and the anti-Israel sentiments, I'm drawing a distinction here, calm down, didn't matter because the greater seats of power were with leftive progressive activists, and now they're reeling from it. Amy Schumer is currently getting roasted, and Amy Schumer is sharing campus reform articles. Wow. Well, look, I'll take it. I will. If a bunch of these people who were formerly on the left are realizing that they partnered up with genocidal maniacs, then, okay. All right, welcome aboard. Thank you for finally paying attention to what was going on. Maybe now when we tell you these people are psychopaths who want to kill you, you'll listen to us. Here's the Free Press writes. The Great Betrayal. The left's reaction to the massacre in Israel has many progressive Jews in the West rethinking their past activism, political affiliations, and friendships. And here you can see the Palestinian pride flag. Now, this is not the Pride Progress Palestinian flag, but this is a similar one to it. We see people now at protests holding up the Progress Pride flag, okay? That's the rainbow and then the triangle with the black and the white and the pink and the blue. And then in the middle is the Palestinian flag. That's right. Here's what I say. You want to win a culture war? Oh, it's easy. You print out a whole bunch of Progress Pride Palestine flags, and you go to businesses in major places like D.C., and you go to the business and say, we want to put this flag in your window. And when they say no, you say, you don't support the left? Are you some right winger? Man, when we come with protests, you're going to be sorry. I'm kidding, by the way. My point is this. What happens when you, as a business in this country, are forced to be, in order to stay on the left, you must defend Hamas? What do? Uh-oh. And many people are breaking from this. Now, I'm not saying supporting Palestine is supporting Hamas, but Hamas is the official government. They enjoy majority support from the people in the Gaza Strip. This is not the West Bank, by the way. But it's a conflict. It's a war. Pick a side, baby. Because if you want to be a progressive and you want to fly that flag, you might as well fly the Palestine flag too. And then see what happens to all of the people who stop going to your business. You'll get canceled. The rules you made. The Free Press writes, after Donald Trump was elected, Emily Rose, 51, flew to New York with her daughters to walk in the Women's March. She demonstrated on the streets of Minneapolis, where she lives. In the days after George Floyd's murder, she donated money to small Black-led movements and social justice organizations that she believed in. She unlearned and then re-educated herself, as white Americans were instructed to, and read the teachings of anti-racist scholars like Ta-Nehisi Coates. But then, after the massacre in Israel on October 7th, when some 1,400 Jews were brutally murdered, not to mention the rapes, beheadings, and the instances of torture, I want to pause. I want to pause and tell my good friends at the Free Press, you're missing something in here. It's not just the Jews that were murdered. There are Arab Israelis who were killed too. There were tourists who were kidnapped and killed. There is one man, and not the only, who was a Thai farm worker we saw in a viral video. Not even Israeli, not even Arabic, not even Jewish. This attack was about depravity. what Hamas did, indiscriminately targeting people, it didn't matter. Now, of course, most of them were Jews. That I understand. That's important. There's a viral video posted by Amy Schumer, which I think is actually really funny. Shout out to Amy Schumer, of all people, where a guy is asking another guy what he means by from the river to the sea. The first point made in the video is that the guy doesn't know which river he's talking about. And he's like, the Euphrates? And he's like, no. Oh, the River Jordan. He's like, right. So you're saying all of this land should be free. Free from what? And he's like, Israelis? And the guy's like, oh, Israelis. But there's a lot of Arab Israelis. And he goes, oh, well, not them. And he's like, oh, okay. So then, right, just the Jews. Ah, okay. And then he goes into talk about LGBT stuff. Now, I don't think it's a completely fair assessment based on what the left would actually argue if we were to steel man their position. But I think the point is this, and I'll break it down for you. Do I agree with what Israel is doing? I don't know if I agree or disagree with war. Okay. I'm sorry. With this current conflict. War, bad. We want to avoid war at all costs. Sometimes there's no simple answer, and I am not the arbiter of morality. So I cannot come bearing answers to the difficult questions of life. Sorry. That's not what I can do. I can tell you this. I'm not surprised Israel's reacting to an attack by Hamas in this way. And a lot of people will say, yeah, but this land was originally Palestine and, Israel colonizers. And I'm like, the land was originally, I forgot, I don't know what it was called. The capital was Jerusalem. It was Israel, I believe. And, I grew up Catholic, Christian. And what did we learn? We learned all about Jerusalem and Bethlehem. And the areas in this region, which were all Jewish. Okay, fine, Roman. But, you get the point. I can't sit here and have this guy. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. These are deep questions. They're dark questions, and it's hard to know. But I can tell you this. This is what war looks like. And if you come out and you're going to try and justify what everyone is doing all the time because you're right or whatever, then you're just going to, it's a pissing contest. Nobody wins. Everyone gets covered in piss. Granted, this is substantially worse. That being said, Hamas did not need to attack and kill civilians. They did not need to attack and kill tourists. But this is the point, ultimately, I think that we're seeing. And it goes back to what we saw at Cooper Union in New York. I think the left, evil. I think they're evil. Why? Jewish students locked in a library as people bang on the door screaming Free Palestine. Why are you targeting Jewish students and screaming Free Palestine at them? They're not Israeli students. Because there's little distinction in the minds of these people. That's why we see some of these activists. There's one story where a guy said he would no longer provide services to Jewish people. They're not Israel. Doesn't matter to them. And I'm sick of this because you get people. Look, you get people in both directions arguing. You've had Jewish individuals wanting to glass. That's what they call it, Gaza. And I'm like, that's insane. What do we need? Well, maybe AOC is right. Look at us. Yeah, I'm sitting here cheering on Amy Schumer and AOC, but it's fine because what's right is what matters. AOC says we don't want these bombings. We want intelligence, precision. What does she mean? AOC is calling for surgical strikes on Hamas with ground personnel. That's right. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that'll work. I don't know. But AOC was basically saying, get a crack team of elite agents to storm into Gaza and kill Hamas. That's what she was saying. And I'm like, man, look, man, I don't know how to be involved in this war stuff. I can just tell you don't want it. But what do? Right? The people, Hamas is going to keep attacking. And they mean it from the river to the sea. And what does that mean? The video Amy Schumer posted, that's what we got. We got some of these posts. They're getting big mad about it. Makes the point. They're not going to purge the Arab Israelis. They're going to purge Jewish people. And they're going to purge LGBTQ people. The video ends by the guy saying, so basically what you're saying is you want Israel to be free of heterosexual Jews. That's the conclusion. So many on the left are now waking up to this. There's people getting canceled. Look at this. That Newsweek reports Amy Schumer reacts after getting canceled. That's right. No matter which side you take, you get canceled. But I tell you this, my friends, if you're on our side, right? Where you and I stand. If people like Amy Schumer from the beginning said, I'm going to side with the reasonable, moderate discussions, you can't get canceled. You can't. I mean, to be fair, you can if you like are abusing kids or like murdering people or something. Okay, fine. There are limits. The point is this. We got people here at Timcast pro-Palestine. We got people here at Timcast pro-Israel. And nobody's getting fired because they're arguing over Israel and Palestine. We don't have all the answers, but of course people here are strongly opinionated. And they're allowed to be. Amy Schumer could have come out and said, no, I want to maintain my right to speak up and defend the things that I want. So I'm going to defend, the people in this position as well. But no, people like Amy Schumer and many of these liberals wanted to side with the left because it was the default position where they thought they would get access to resources. And now they will suffer because of it. I'm not going to hold it against them in the long run, but I don't trust them. I'll say, okay, if you want to come out on the right side of free speech, I'll defend you, but I'm not going to trust you because you've already shown your willingness to betray people and defend genocidal maniacs. But this is the point. This woman said, I started to see these intelligent, educated people whose mission is to make our system better for people of color suddenly posting all this anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian stuff. I'm not changing my values, but screw the allyship. I will not stop fighting because I believe in the causes themselves. But as for going out of my way to support, to post, to give money, I'm done. Professional politicos like DSA founder Maurice Eiserman are publicly stepping down from their parties and denouncing organizations that justify or even cheer the events of October 7th. And wealthy Jewish donors claw back millions from elite universities. There's a quieter, more personal reckoning happening among progressive Jews. Like Rose, they feel betrayed by a left that they thought would have their backs. Okay, I'm glad you're waking up. But we kept telling you this was the case. They kept telling you this was the case. Patrisse Cullors in 2015 said she wanted to end Israel. And y'all thought it was a game. Y'all thought it was nothing. Y'all thought it didn't matter. They chant from the river to the sea. And we know what that means. I'm glad to see many on the left waking up to it, but, it is what it is. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on the channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.